Tell me what's next. Freedom is here, tell me what's next. Freedom is here, tell me what's next. Freedom is here, tell me what's next.
My great-grandmothers and my grandmother and my mother were not free in this country.
I didn't really think much about democracy in those days. I didn't have to.
My grandmother worked since she was 13 years old until she was 48, and then she died with nothing.
I had money in the bank, I could do what I liked. I had a carefree lifestyle.
She took the jobs from her mother, and then my mother and myself took her jobs. And so that's how I became a domestic worker. I was not made to be this.
It was only when the majority started wanting their country, wanting the power, that I began to take note.
What Dave basically grew up with, all of a sudden just collapsed.
For the first time, I was unable to get work.
I grew up thinking about my future, and all of a sudden they told me that I might not have one anymore.
Now I found the transition from being a privileged white to being a poor white very difficult.
You're not welcome, you're not wanted.
Nobody wants to help you, nobody wants to give you a job.
You're like an old dinosaur, your time is over now.
What do?
The first opportunity I had, I left.
I say sayonara, sister, it's been nice. When white people come and say like, oh, my children must go to Europe because there's no jobs, it's like, bye-bye. Do you know who struggles to find jobs in this country? Not white people. You go to any township at 12 at noon and walk around and you will be dismayed.
There are no jobs available.
I passed my studies 5 years ago and now I'm savings.
I couldn't get an opportunity to become what I want to be.
They said you have lots of opportunities, but you are not working. It's like I'm just sitting at home doing nothing.
People cannot just sit and say we're waiting for the government to do things for us.
What government? This is not a bloody government, man. This is shit.
Everyone is saying to us, we have sweat for this freedom, do something about it.
We have got to see to it that they understand where we're coming from.
They know little struggles, but not as hard as we had when we were children.
Everything. And our struggle is different from their struggle. Our parents don't understand our struggle.
There's
a lot of anger and aggression.
They're scared of each other.
There's no one here in this place, man.
There's too much crime. I don't think it's going to go away.
People just break you down again.
It's not going to change.
Now we don't know where we're standing.
It's worse than apartheid now.
Die government direk die laaste asem uit jou liggaam. Saam staan hand in hand. Vegters van ons vaderland. Ons kry almal swaar. That's why ons ondergaan. Living a day in the life of an inhumane kind. Confused and buckled. Down struggle roads and corrupt minds. Claustrophobic attitudes left us behind. Living a day in the life of an inhumane kind.
You have to believe, you have to have hope so that you can go forward.
It's difficult just to kind of turn your mind and your life around to the concept of, well, now we're all equal and we're all free.
I mean, there are a lot of challenges in our society, and I think we need to focus on what it is we can be good at.
You must stop expecting to be saved.
We can't go to town and march and say we want jobs, those kind of things, you know. Because we know there are certain ways to get a job.
You actually have to go forward and go make it happen for yourself.
For us, we have to start from the ground. There's no foundation, there's no nothing.
In order to do that for me, I had to sit down and look at what happened in the past with my family.
When I came back to South Africa, I had to basically make a choice to relearn everything I knew about this country.
I'm selling magazines now, and I'm not bringing in much money, but you know what? I'm happier than I've been in my life.
I just knew that I wanted to be successful at whatever it is that I was going to do.
Democracy is there, and then I had to make freedom for myself.
You need to decide what it is you want in your life.
I've always wanted to be part of a big company.
You just really need to work hard at achieving that goal.
I'm enrolled at Cape Technicon. I'm doing human resources management.
Prioritize to be like, what am I willing to fight for?
I'm breaking the chain of being domestic workers. I'm creating a future for myself and maybe for my kids to follow.
Nobody can give you dignity. You have to claim it for yourself.
For the first time, I realized what it was like to struggle. And that is what democracy is.
It's very beautiful because of what happened in the past.
You cannot have democracy unless you feel it inside.
I grew up in a church that told me to love everyone that was white and not people that were black.
We don't hold grudges for that. We are not angry.
You have to feel the struggle, feel the pain.
For me, that was wrong because that was actually going completely against what I thought it was about.
And then if you have hopes and dreams, then you can make something out of that.
South Africa can teach the world a lot about democracy.
In everything, you know, in every department, we've got a lot to give to the world and to Africa.
I think we privileged in South Africa to be so mixed up, so surrounded by so many different types.
Everyone is in South Africa.
It's made us resilient, it's made us tolerant, it's made us like forgiving.
I mean, the vast majority of the changes came from South Africans themselves. We weren't air-bombed by anybody or had raids from another country.
Each individual has to start with himself.
The solution came across the table with, by, and for South Africa. And for me, it's not about trying to conquer the world, as opposed to one person at a time.
Love and respect have got a lot to do with freedom as well.
Let's just do one person at a time and try to get us away from that obsession with guns and diamonds and gold and more money, which we of course only use to mess up the environment.
I'm a South African. I'm one of the people, and that's what really counts.
I can create something for myself, and then I can create life for my kids and my mother, and then at the end they will know that I was there and I did this for them.
Freedom really is the way you feel about yourself and how you feel about others.
I'm free because there is no one telling me what to think or what to do or what to believe.
Now we've got a choice.
And there are black, brown, white South Africans who are going to make this country even go so much further than it is right now.
To the world, we are like maybe a statue or something very beautiful to look at.
Kudala slindi ngulule. Kudala slindi ngulule. Kudala slindi ngulule. Freedom is here, tell me what's next. 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 Kudala slindi ngululeko. 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 Freedom is here, tell me what's next. Freedom is here, tell me what's next. Freedom is here, tell me what's next. Freedom is here, tell me what's next.